Now about the spiritual gifts, the special endowments given by the Holy Spirit, brothers and sisters. I do not want you to be uninformed. You know that when you were pagans, you were led off after speechless idols. However, you were led off whether by impulse or habit. Therefore, I want you to know that no one speaking by the power and influence of the Spirit of God can say, Jesus be cursed. And no one can say Jesus is my Lord except by the power and influence of the Holy Spirit. Now there are distinctive varieties of spiritual gifts, special abilities given by the grace and extraordinary power of the Holy Spirit operating in believers. But it is the same Spirit who grants them and empowers believers. And there are distinctive varieties of ministries and service. But it is the same Lord who is served. And there are distinctive ways of working to accomplish things. But it is the same God who produces all things in all believers, inspiring, energizing, and empowering them. But to each one is given the manifestation of the Spirit, the spiritual illumination, and the enabling of the Holy Spirit for the common good. To one is given through the Holy Spirit the power to speak the message of wisdom, and to another the power to express the word of knowledge and understanding according to the same Spirit. To another, wonder-working faith is given by the same Holy Spirit, and to another the extraordinary gift of healings by the one Holy Spirit, and to another the working of miracles, and to another prophecy, foretelling the future, speaking a new message from God to the people, and to another discernment of spirits, the ability to distinguish sound, godly doctrine from the deceptive doctrine of man-made religions and cults. To another, various kinds of unknown tongues, and to another, interpretation of tongues. All these things, the gifts, the achievements, the abilities, the empowering, are brought about by one and the same Holy Spirit, distributing to each one individually just as he chooses. For just as the body is one and yet has many parts, and all the parts, though many, form only one body, so it is with Christ. For by one Holy Spirit we are all baptized into one body, spiritually transformed, united together, whether Greeks or Jews, Gentiles, slaves or free, and we were all made to drink of one Holy Spirit, since the same Holy Spirit fills each life. For the human body does not consist of one part, but of many limbs and organs. If the foot says, because I am not a hand, I am not a part of the body, and not on the contrary, still a part of the body, isn't it? If the ear says, because I am not an eye, I am not part of the body, is it not on the contrary still a part of the body? If the whole body were an eye, one member is honored, all rejoice with it. Now you collectively are Christ's body, and individually you are members of it, each with his own special purpose and function. So God has appointed and placed in the church for his own use. First, apostles, chosen by Christ. Second, prophets, those who foretell the future, those who speak a new message from God to the people. Third, teachers,